part 3 of the turbo nock review. And as you see how it's cut at a slant, it spins the arrow, and you're thinking, well, that's, you know, how much of a slant is that really? You know, how much really is that going to affect how it spins? And I've got a little pink four fletch for you can see it. I've got on 200 grains of a Black Swan broadhead, so you guys can check that out. My two dogs are wrestling around here. Anyway, that's my little bloodhound Papa, and my daughter's Chihuahua. They have been at it. So anyway, he's just a puppy. I'm going to try to figure out a way I can hold this. Oh, by the way, okay. My review on these, what I think. After shooting them for a couple of days, this is what I've come up with. You've got to tune your shaft. And when I say that is to make sure that you're not going to get fletching contact on your bow, because it's not going to come off the same. As it's coming off, it's rotating to the right, so it's going to hit different. So you'll have to rotate that arrow further to the left and set that turbo nock and shoot it, and you can use powder or whatever you need to check for clearance if it's leaving powder anywhere on from your feathers. Anyway, just you keep rotating it to the left and shoot it, rotate it to the left until you get perfect clearance. Once you do, I've got to say it does have better arrow flight, more consistent, the grouping's smaller, the whole 9 yards. It does shoot better, but it takes some work to do that. Now what I'm going to try to do for you guys is show you something, and I don't know how I'm going to hold my iPhone and do this, so I'm just not going to use a release. I'm just going to flip this arrow up in the air, and hopefully I can show you guys. I get over here where I don't shoot one of my dogs doing it. What I'm going to do is just pluck this string slightly, let the arrow go up in the air, and let y'all watch it spin. I'm only going to draw back like 1 inch, okay? Y'all ready? Oh, I hope that shot. This thing is spinning outrageous RPMs. I mean, I was just fiddling around and I can believe the RPMs this thing's spinning. Let's see if I can do this. Oh, sorry guys, I'm trying to make this all work out for y'all. Oh, I'm sorry. I just don't have a way. If I had a cameraman, this would be so much better. Y'all forgive me as I try to get this set up. I really would like for y'all to see this. Okay. Okay, I'm hoping that shows. I'm gonna watch the video and see what we get, but man, if you can't see it, that arrow is spinning so rapidly. I mean, from drawing my bow back 1 inch, when it goes up in the air, it's spinning so rapidly that you can hardly see the fletchings. It's spinning so fast. And I mean, the thing won't go. It's not going 12 foot in the air, and it's spinning so fast. Anyway, so there again, the turbo nock. You guys try them. I'm pretty impressed with it. You know, without a doubt, they have proven that an arrow that spins, has some spin to it, it makes up for some errors in your release, some error in the spine. It just makes the arrow fly straighter. So anyway, that's where I'm at right now on this. Is it definitely spins that arrow, and I mean rapidly. When they're telling you like 5,000 to 8,000 RPMs, I believe it's absolutely the truth. And I'm not getting paid, but I mean, this is just a raw review of these turbo nocks in the backyard. I've been shooting a broadhead into foam with it, and my field points and stuff. I can tell you, I don't notice. I don't think I notice any more penetration. I'll be honest. Penetration's probably the same. I can't tell anymore. I do notice a tighter grouping, a little more consistency. It's less sensitive to torquing of the bow, less sensitive to release error, and I think that's just raw spinning that arrow off the string, and it's just correcting that shaft. There's no way the shaft can flex when it's spinning that hard. It's just impossible. I mean, you can bend it if you're just holding it still, but you can imagine this thing is spinning at 5,000 RPMs or whatever. There's no possible way to flex the shaft. This shaft becomes very rigid, and rigid is what you want for penetration. You guys who shoot traditional, and you tend to shoot a lighter shaft, for that archer's paradox, well, and you're right, you got to have it. But I can tell you, when this puppy is spinning, like, and you can imagine, you've heard your car rev, 5,000-6,000 RPMs. There's no way the shaft, it can't flex. It just can't, because it's spinning, and the spin corrects the flex. And so, in all principles, a lighter shaft becomes like a more rigid shaft as far as its arrow flight. Once it leaves the bow, it starts this rapid spin, and very, very rapidly becomes a rigid arrow. And so if you were to watch, now this is all just my hypothesis, if you watch this arrow as it's flying toward the target, you guys know how arrows, you've seen them in slow-mo, how they flex this way, and it'll flex this way, and flex as they're headed downfield. I just cut a big hole in my new target. Well, there's no possible way, as this thing's spinning at 5,000 RPMs, there's no way for this arrow to do this paradoxing flex. And as this thing flexes going through the air, that takes a lot of energy to flex that carbon shaft from side to side like that. And where does that energy come from? There's only one place it can come from, and that's from your arrow shaft. So you're robbing downfield kinetic energy from your shaft by allowing it to flex like this back and forth going down the field. So I guess theoretically, and you could say the same thing about the spin. If this arrow is spinning, yes, it is there's only one place spin can come from with fletchings, and that's the wind. The wind catching it, dragging the butt in, causing the arrow to spin. And that is only one place that energy can come from, and that's the arrow shaft. So here's what I'm getting with. You can go with a much smaller, I really want to do some testing. I think you can probably have a 1-inch fletchings with these turbo nocks. So then you're not going to have the wind drag. This turbo nock's going to give you more spin than, there's no fletching that can give you the kind of spin that this turbo nock is going to do. So you're going to have the downrange spin and just enough feather for broadhead control or something, or field point. But anyway, I'm going to do a little testing on that. But my hypothesis right now is you don't need much of a fletching at all, as long as you've got this turbo nock spinning this arrow, because it's going to take that paradox out of it as it's going downfield toward the target or the animal. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. But anyway, you guys try it out for yourself. Order you some and shoot them and group them. Tune your arrow to your bow. See what you're getting, and post some videos. Post a video response, and I want to know what you're getting. And do that little test. Put one of these arrows on your bow with this turbo nock. Draw it back like 1 inch and fire it up into the air, straight up, where you can watch it spin. You're just gonna freak you out. And then do one of your standard nocks, and you're gonna see what I'm talking about. And I'm gonna get some bear shafts in there and shoot them and see how they fly. But anyhow, with a regular straight nock, You know, I get good aeroflight all the way out past 20 yards with no feathers at all when I paper tune. I mean, I'll be hitting the bullseye at 20 yards with no fletching at all. So I can only imagine with the turbo knock, and if I bare shaft tune with a turbo knock, 30 yards is going to be no problem at all. All right, catch you guys later. That's just my little review, and catch you on the flip side.